What's going on everyone, welcome back to another video. Now I've just come back from picking up a set of side skirts for the Civic Coupe build. If you're unfamiliar with the build, I've put a link above. Basically I'm building this car with minimum pennies, trying to make like a noughties tuner sort of style car. Pretty much a nostalgia trip for us that used to play Need for Speed Underground and stuff like that. But yeah, I've picked up some standard side skirts for the car. I've already got the Charge Speed side skirts up there and painted in my back garden. And I picked the standard side skirts up because I didn't want to drill through the original ones just in case I decide to, you know, put the car back to standard. So that's what I've just recently picked up, and I'm just chuffed that I've been able to pick them up for 35 quid is what I paid for them off of eBay. But the side skirts are becoming quite expensive now because not only have I paid for the side skirts themselves, I've paid for another set of side skirts to screw them into. I've paid for paints and all the rest of it, and it just keeps adding up. It's probably one of the most expensive bits on the car that I've bought so far. The rear bumper I paid 60 quid for, delivered to my house, so anyway. But yeah, I did a Q&A as well, and I wanted to run through that, but can't wait to get the body kit on the car. I think that's probably going to be the next thing. But yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, again, Instagram links below, it's Dan AYP, just search it on Instagram. I did a Q&A, so I'm just going to run through that Q&A. We've got quite a few things on there already. Let's see all responses. Jesus. So let's commence with the Q&A. Now I've not done one of these for a while. I did want to do one a while ago. I've just not really had a chance to do one, but at the moment with the weather getting colder, the days getting shorter and the weather getting wetter as well here in the UK, I've not had as much time as I would have liked to work on the car or to do things. So that means I'm probably going to end up working in the garage, which means I'm probably going to make a good start, hopefully. It says fingers crossed on the EG. But anyway, let's go to the questions. FTLOC UK, or For the Love of Cars. I know him, he's got a YouTube channel himself, so check him out. But For the Love of Cars has asked, dream non-JDM car. I honestly don't know. Now, dream, let's say it includes exotics and all the rest of it, and I'm not really an exotics kind of guy, but I would have to say probably a McLaren. Some sort of McLaren, or I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's such a hard question. I'm gonna have to stick with McLaren, I think. Some of the like a McLaren P1 or one of the newer models, just because it's British, it's, you know, not JDM, and it's a hypercar, and they are just known for building brilliant cars for the track, and that's what I personally like. I like cars that go around corners. But I don't mind some USDM stuff as well, to be honest. Some American muscle cars, I just like the look of them, I like the appeal of them. UK Boost, how low do you plan on going with the Civic project? So low wise, I'm guessing he means low as in lows on the car. I've just got some eye-back springs that I'm going to be fitting to this particular car. The eye-back Pro kit I think is a 35mm drop. I think it might be like 35mm all round, or a 35 and a 40mm. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's how low I plan on going. He's asked, so UK Boost again is another car YouTuber I know him quite well. He's asked, are you going to slap a Chinese spinny boy on the Civic project? I'm probably not going to put a Hiroshima hairdryer on the Civic, just because I want to keep it just as bare minimum spend as possible. It's more of a visual sort of car for me. I want to make a car that looks like a reject from the Fast and Furious. He's asked a load of other questions like Gallo 12, Gallo 24. That's loads of crap. Naturally aspirated with big cams and carbs, or I'm guessing it means individual throttle bodies still running injectors, because that would be the preferred method these days, or a big turbo spinny boy. So cams, ITBs, or a turbo. I like turbo noises, I like ITB noises more. I don't like turbo lag, but I know you can get turbos that are very responsive these days. I just like the sound and the feel and the experience of a naturally aspirated car. So, and for me it's more about a car's ability in the twisters and stuff like that, rather than outright straight, you know, quarter-mile speed or top speed runs and stuff like that. I'm not really a fan of that, to be honest. So I'd have to say naturally aspirated, just for that throttle response, for the noise, for the experience. It's just more of a raw, more of an analog sort of drive, in my opinion, and that's probably why I like Hondas. Progress on the EG, and this is from Civic_slag. I love that handle, by the way, on Instagram. Progress on the EG, yes, needs to happen. As you know, I've got two EGs. I've got a white EG that is just a shell, and it's a 1.3. It drives as a 1.3 automatic from Japan. It's an actual JDM shell. It's an EG3, you know, officially. It's got a little bit of rot, not half as much rot as the EG4 that I've got, which is a UK car. I just call them EG6s because there wasn't any like seam welding or anything like that like there was in the EK4 and EK9 that set the chassis apart. So to me, just an EG6, it's just what it is. But the red EG6, I built it, I've had it for 7 years, I built it from the ground up, did everything to it, and that car's probably going to end up getting scrapped after I've taken all the parts off of it, and I won't be doing that until I've got the white one ready. So yes, progress on the EG has to happen. It has to happen because I'm in too deep financially. It's as simple as that. It's a good problem to have, having all the car parts, but it's a bad problem to have when you're running out of space for cars and you've got 2 cars that aren't on the road, 1 car that is. Anyway, I digress. Leadfoot Ash, again another YouTuber I know him very well. Would you ever build a non-Japanese car and what would it be? I've toyed frequently with the idea of building a E36, a 328i. That just seems to be the car that I constantly go back and look at, and I'd have to Pandem wide body it, or a knockoff Pandem wide body. I wouldn't be able to afford the real bits, but I'd have to keep it NA. I'd probably go for like an M50 engine maybe. I'd just make it into like something that is a outright drift car, but that I can show, and that's because for me the form is more important than the function is more important than the form, should I say. So that would be my non-JDM car build. Or, you know, maybe like a little pocket rocket. I've considered as well, I don't know if you're aware of the Civic Coupe. Obsessed Motorsport, they're building, or they have built now because it's already competed. I think we're just a bit behind with the videos that they're releasing, and they won the Civic Coupe the first round this year. So they're building, or they've built a Citroen C1 1 litre, and the Coupe is just for IGO, C1 and 107. And it's the cheapest way to get into motorsport, basically into real motorsport. And I say real because cheaper would be the only cheaper way to get into motorsport, and it is real racing, is sim racing, but I digress. That can be really expensive. But yeah, so cheap motorsport. You get one of those cars, you buy a pack from the event organiser, which is like £3 to £4 depending on whether you get like all the safety gear as well, but you throw that onto an 800 quid car or a £1,000 car, and £5 you're all in, and the pack includes your first race fee and all the rest of it as well. £5 you're all in, you're racing properly racing at organised events and a set calendar, all that jazz. And that for me would be brilliant, you know, like absolute bare bones racing. 70 horsepower cars that probably weigh 900 kg with a driver. I think the limit, if I remember right, I looked at all the rules and regulations because I'm a nerd like that, but the limit, if I remember correctly, was 920 or 930 kg inclusive of driver, and if you're under that you have to add ballast to the car, so it helps us big boys as well. You know, I'm 6'1", 6'2", weigh 200 pounds I think for you American viewers, but like 90 kg for us UK guys. Anyway, so yeah, one or the other. Some French, absolute bare basic, but Japanese made Aigo / one of the derivatives, or a drift BMW, just for 1, the look, and 2, to experience drifting. I'd like to experience it. I've got a couple from EM1 BBS, EWANE BBS. And he said, do you have any subscriber goals? Now, I don't have any subscriber goals. If I have any goal whatsoever, it would be to motivate people like massive YouTubers in the US have done for me. It would be to be able to do what I love doing as a career, which is modifying cars and experiencing different cars, and, you know, building cars as well. I'd love to own my own shop one day where I look at supporting people with like weight reduction of cars and increasing their ability to drive them on the edge, you know, by doing all the supporting mods from a handling sort of perspective rather than from a outright power and raw power sort of perspective. I'd be the guy that once you've had a 1000 horsepower car built, I'd love to be the guy that you could then bring a car to and say, oh Dan, can you put a handling package on this for us? Can you put a weight reduction package on this for us? Can you track prep it for us with roll cage and all the safety gubbins? I'd love to be that person and follow that sort of passion that I have for, like, what do you call it, spirited driving, let's say. But as far as subscriber goals go, I don't really have any goals, just to be able to continue doing this. And I enjoy editing and enjoy bringing free content to everybody, and I just like showing people what I've done, and that's the whole idea around AYP, I suppose, is, you know, achieve your potential, in that I'm showing everybody what I've achieved in like automotive form. I'm showing everybody what I've been able to learn and do, and yeah, so if I can have a similar sort of influence on other people maybe in the car community, and keep it positive, keep it friendly, and be able to live off of doing what I love doing, you know, whether that's in the form of services like I was saying earlier with performance modifications, or off of YouTube making videos and creating free entertainment for you guys to watch and getting like paid like off ad revenue and stuff like that, then that's all I'd want really. I wouldn't want to set a target on any sort of subscriber goal either, because I see all viewers as individual people, and I'd happily pick up my phone and speak to you all, and you know I do on a regular occasion on Instagram. That's probably the best way to catch me, but I don't have any goals. I'm just very, very thankful for all the people that are here now, 2,000 just over subscribers that are just here for the journey and here for the entertainment and find what I do good to watch. So, and Dream Car. So this is single car. And then we've had, you know, Dream non-JDM car. This is Dream single car. The dream single car, if you like, for me would be something that could do a little bit of everything, and it would have to be something that I could build, something that I can track, something that I can drift, something that I can just sit 4 people in and stuff like that. I know this probably sounds crazy and there's not really a car that fits into that category, but I'd squeeze the GT86 or BRZ into that sort of category. Believe it or not, as basic of a car as it is, it's a driver's car, it's an enthusiast's car to drive, and that's what cars are to me. They're something that you enjoy driving. They're not something that gets you from A to B. It's not something that does X amount of mile an hour. It's not something that does 0 to 16 whatever. It's something that you can passionately enjoy through driving. So a GT86 had been my dream car, believe it or not. Just because it's an all-rounder, I think. And there's more questions like dream cars and stuff like that, so I'll go into them later. Roadblock TV. Would you... I'm not even going to bother, Roadblock. Get another YouTuber, check them out. I'm not even going to tell you what they said. I've not seen any of these questions, by the way, prior to doing this video. NBB_Josh asked, what's the next build you're going to do in the future? So, I can't tell you, because that'd be telling, but I want to build the EG as I've mentioned, so that would be my build. There's also another car coming to the channel that I won't necessarily own, but I'll have access to because his missus is looking at replacing a car. I think there's only 2 people that know what she's actually going to get, apart from her obviously, and me. Don't say anything, but I think it'd be a really cool car for the channel, and it's very, very tunable. It's JDM, it's small, and it'll be cool. So you have to stay tuned. Sorry, Josh. Jay did this. Put 2 questions on. Whose round is it? That's his podcast. Check it out. Jay did this as well. Another YouTuber I know very well. When will we see the EG? So search whose round is it for a good pub-like podcast, if you like, as well. When will we see the EG? Well, I could show you it now. It's there. So there you go, mate. Seen the EG. What more do you want? No, I mean, on the road, you're probably not the red one again. I've toyed with, because I wanted to take, as I said, I've built everything on that car from the ground up, and I wanted to take Max out in it, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's just too raw and it's too far gone. I'd spend days and weeks welding a turd, or polishing a turd, as they say. So it's not going to happen. The red one, it's not going to be on the road. The white one will be though. I assure you it will be, because I'm too financially invested. Project Alfetta, always watches the videos, really good guy. Thank you very much for being, so engaged with the channel, because he's always commenting on things, always liking my pictures and stuff like that on Instagram. Are you always going to be a JDM guy, or would you consider switching to something like an Alpha? Now, some classic Alphas are built brilliantly, they sound beautiful, but I think I'd probably sway towards like Lotus Elises and like McLarens and like even like an MGB GT. I've looked at them quite a lot as well and thought, do you know what, I'd like one of them. So from like a sort of classic car sort of perspective, which I know Project Alfetta is a classic guy, those are the sort of cars that I'd look at. And I've touched on previously other cars that aren't JDM, but I am always going to be a JDM guy, and my dream garage won't really consist of anything else but JDM cars. Mari __Mari MAARI asked, what's the next mod? Body kit. Body kit for the coupe will be the next mod, no doubt whatsoever about that. Just because I've just picked up some skirts and stuff, and I need to paint that front lip, and then I'm getting the front lip and skirts on at least next. It's definitely the next mod. Next video on the coupe, I'm not sure, because something might happen to it. I might need to do something on it, and I'll think, do you know what, let's pull the camera out. But next mod, definitely. God, there's so many questions. Blue _Corolla asked, money no object, how far would you go with the EM1 Civic build? Now, I'd probably do what I'm doing now, building it completely budget, spending bare minimum. I mean, I've spent 800 quid and that includes things like, you know, doing the timing belt on it and wheels and tyres and all these sorts of, you know, things, a service even. So I'm pretty much quids in as far as I'm concerned. I bought the car for £2,000, sorry, and put 800 quid into it, so I'm chuffed with the car as it is, and I'd probably build it as I am right now, even if I had loads of money, because I'd move that money over into something else. But if I only had this car to modify, playing devil's advocate, if I only had this car to modify, what would I do? I'd probably go full send for... I'd want to make an all-round car, pretty much like I was talking about the GT86. I want to make something that I could take to the track, something that looks cool. So I'd probably go for like the M&M wide body kit, Sparko seats, you know, for the look as well as for the usability, for the function of them. Momo steering wheel or an Hardy, you know, short shit. I'd full lot, LSD gearbox, K swap, the lot, K24. You know, I'd probably go down the route similar to I think it's PR Beauty, I think she's called. It's Right and Drive Kev's missus. Their Honda builds are so clean and immaculate, and so they're made to be used as well. So really, really nice builds for Honda builds, in my opinion. So yeah, I'd probably go nuts with this and make it into something that it'd be more of a track car than a drag car though. Whereas Kevin and PR Beauty, as she's known, makes drag cars, purely strictly drag cars. I'd go all motor as well. I'd want like a 330 horsepower K25 or whatever you can bore them out to, and I'd want like an all motor dailyable build, not something that's like 400 horsepower and only runs on race gas, but something that can run on normal 95 octane or 98 over here to you guys in the UK. R53 Mike, R53 being the Mini, ops on R53S, so opinions on the R53 and specifically the Cooper S. So R53s maybe he means, I don't know. I don't know the chassis codes. I know the R53 is the Cooper S. I like them. I've considered buying one. I've considered buying one just before I bought this. I was considering that or like an RX-8 or, you know, something like that. Something sort of dailyable, cheap, usable. RX-8 maybe not as dailyable. But yeah, I was considering buying one, and I think they're really, really cool cars. And I remember modifying one to Oblivion on like Gran Turismo 4 or something and making it into a really good front wheel drive sort of time attack car. I say time attack because I just used to do laps of Succuba Circuit, or Succuba Circuit should I say, repeatedly. But I like them, they're cool cars and supercharger wine. JW Cruz, with dots in between, asked, what is your plans for the Civic? So like I said earlier, just a noughties style build. Before the Q&A I sort of was saying, you know, it's going to be a noughties tuner style build, so not full send Fast and Furious decals everywhere, all that sort of stuff, and not full race car, roll cage, bucket seats, all that sort of stuff, but somewhere like in between, where it's got low profile tyres, nice wheels, looks like it should go on a racetrack because of all the stickers and decals on it and stuff like that, but isn't. So very sort of noughties style, where everything was fueled, if you like, by racing and by the racing sort of liveries and decals and things like that, as far as like the show cars were concerned, but not show car as in suicide doors and all that sort of stuff, Lamborghini doors and stuff. I don't want to do anything like that. I want it to be sort of, there's a very, very thin line on Rice, and I want to try and tread that line very, very carefully, so that's the sort of plan there. Dream project car by Stefan.Vladov1. So sorry if I butchered your name, by the way. Dream project car would be project cars. So the dream would be multiple cars. So we're not just talking about, if I've already sort of covered, you know, ideal sort of car, dream car, whatever it was, but the dream project car, I mean, if it was a single car, let's say, it would have to be the GT86 again, because it's new enough to not have any seized bolts and all that sort of stuff. And if we're talking project car, it means you're going to be modifying it, but it's also old enough to not have any, you know, to not have any lack of parts, shall we say. There's not going to be any shortage of supply of both standard parts and aftermarket parts. So if it was just a single car for a project car, GT86/BRZ/FRS for you guys in the States. But project, my dream sort of garage, if you like, would be multiple cars. RX-8, R32, R34, NSX NA1, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, for the availability of parts and modification, you know, ease of modifying cars, like the GT86 and BRZs, the new Civic and Miata are just moulded into one, in my opinion. So yeah, but if it was just a single car, it'd be that. If it wasn't, if it was multiple, I mean, if I had loads of random, like if I had like a daily and a few other bits, and I just had one car that didn't have to do everything, and I wasn't being picky, and I just wanted any car, NA1 NSX. So I've mentioned like multiple cars in dream car. I know, sorry mate. Adam Ivell, another YouTuber, really nice guy. Been chatting to him recently on Instagram, and he is the Honda king as far as UK YouTube car royalty goes. He's the Honda king. Realistic dream build, e.g. I've got all the bits for it. I just need to pull my finger out my ass. So yeah, Adam, if you're watching, and if you want to lend me a unit that I can put all my shit in and just start building a car. I mean, you live too far away, so it'd never happen, but realistic dream build would be realistic, because I'm saying, you know, dream car would be a GT86 with all everything. Realistic dream build would be money orientated, wouldn't it? And I've already spent all the money on the EG. All the parts are sat there in that car, and I need to use them on a chassis that won't rot away or fall apart. So yeah, and that concludes the Q&A, everybody. So if you've made it this far, please comment in the comments below Glizzy Guzzler, and I'll catch you in the next one. I don't know why. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.